Hi, my name's Dee, and welcome to Untitled Tarot, and welcome to your new moon reading for the sign in the title below. Because it's a bulk introduction, which you don't have to watch every time, because I would say you really want to watch three of these. You want to watch your sun sign, which is the I am, your rising sign, which is how you are presenting to the world, what is happening in the outer world for you, and you want to watch your moon sign because, of course, it's the moon. It's a new moon. Of course, your moon sign would be relevant. Now, I'm not going to go in for long about the astrology of the new moon. There are plenty of astrologers who have done it far better than I ever could, and all of their shows are posted on my Facebook page for this channel, which link down below in the description. So if you're wanting to know about the astrology of it, you have plenty of astrologers to choose from on there. Suffice to say, it's big. It's a big full moon. There is a stellium in Aquarius. So what have we got? We've got Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn, with Saturn ruling, in Aquarius. Now, it is not the age of Aquarius. I don't care what various people say. It is not the age of Aquarius, and as I've said before, the age of Aquarius will not begin until tropical, i.e. Western traditional 0 degrees Aries, is the same position as sidereal Aquarius. At the moment, it isn't. 0 degrees Aries is sidereally some of 22, 21, 22, maybe 23 degrees Pisces. So there's a while yet. I think that's right. I think it's there's a 22 involved in there somewhere. But anyway, it's in Pisces. It is not in Aquarius. However, this is a really big time of Aquarius, and there's no shaking that. We have numerous planetary synodic cycles starting. Let me bring my details up. So we've got just this week alone, and there's been a fair amount over the past few weeks, but just this week alone, I mean, bear in mind, this is all under the Great Conjunction. But we have a new Venus-Saturn cycle starting. Obviously, a new Sun-Moon, but that's a monthly one. A new Sun-Mercury, that's quite frequent. A Venus-Jupiter synodic cycle starting, Mercury-Venus cycle, and Mercury-Jupiter. So, it's very much, this is a new time coming in. Without a shadow of a doubt, there's all these new, some of those were that's all a lot of the personal planets, the inner planets. So they're small cycles, but we've just had all the massive big cycles, Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, Jupiter, Saturn, I should say, Saturn, Pluto as well. So we know they all restarted before Christmas. Before Christmas? I think they were all before Christmas. I should know that off by heart, shouldn't I? I talked about every single one of them. Now, there is a timestamp below, so you don't have to watch this repeatedly. You only have to watch this on the first reading. It's well worth it. What I want to look at is the angels, the degree angels. Now, I never thought I'd going to be an angel person. But the degree angels are the Kabbalistic angels, who are very traditional, mighty and terrible. So, of course, I'm drawn to them like a moth to a flame. Now, this new moon, 23 degrees Aquarius, that's ruled by Menadel, who most people will be glad to know that he's great for job seeking. So if the economy and the virus and all the economy crash and what have you has affected you, now is a great time to ask for some help in job seeking and redesigning what you want to do next, because that's a lot of this Aquarius stuff. It will exhibit in community with an independent streak, which may sound like a bit of an oxymoron, but I think I've got my head around that idea. Um, so you, a lot of it is internal right now that you will be later putting into practice. But that is, so Menadel, let me bring up my details here. You'll have to forgive me, I am referring to notes. I don't know all this off by heart. Menadel, as a degree angel, is seen as fearless and presiding over inner and outer work. And there's definitely this theme of the inner and the outer work going on with everything, everything that I've been looking at to do with this. Now, Menadel has been active. Let's have a look. Menadel was active last March and April, which I think was, let me just double check this. I think that was Uranus. Yep, with Uranus at 5 degrees Taurus. And then there was obviously Mars arrived at 5 degrees Taurus in January. And now Menadel is ruling 23 degrees Aquarius. Those rulerships don't change. I know the way I phrase that, it makes it sound like they do change, but no, they don't change. Now, Menadel here is like everybody being ruled by Saturn, so being ruled in this case by Luvia. Saturn is the ruler of this chart. If you do rulership chains, everything leads back to Saturn, mainly because everything's in Aquarius. Of course, I'm using ancient rather than modern rulerships there. You could say everything also goes back to Uranus, but Saturn and Uranus are in square to one another anyway, and that is the flavour of this year. That tension, that tradition versus independence. Now, Luvia is all about dialing God and expansive intelligence or fruition, although I couldn't find any more information out from the Dictionary of Angels because he's not in there, or she's not in there. But what I actually want to look at is Mahasea. Now, Mahasea rules 22 degrees Capricorn. So as you know, that had a lot of activity this last year. So today, or rather on the new moon, Mahasea is ruling the North Node. So is being ruled by astrologically the angel Rael, who is representing Mercury, or Mercury's degree, but again, then in Aquarius, ruled by Saturn, therefore ruled by Luvia in this chart. Now, Rael is about removing hatred, liberation. Rael helps to remove obstacles and impediments and to live in a universe without boundaries. Now, if that is not an Aquarius flavour, I don't know what is. So that also is just that one step less abstract than what Luvia is about. Luvia literally seems like it's channeling the divine plan that down into a way that not that we can understand, because we're never going to be able to understand that, but at least that something may be able to understand it. But Mahasea, as I said, was in control of 22 degrees Capricorn. So last year, that's Menadel's history I'm looking at. Last year, Pluto was there. Jupiter crossed over it. Mars crossed over it very, very briefly. And basically, Mahasea was busy going from the 1st of January last year, because that's where my records start, that I've got programmed into my database. Then it was active from the 1st of the year to the 19th of January. From the 16th of March through to the 21st, again in July for a couple of days, then 5th and the 6th, and then the 10th of July, all the way through, and this will be through Pluto, Oh no, all the way through to the end of November, again on Christmas Day, again on New Year's Eve, I notice, and then, okay, my records aren't complete, but that's what I've managed to dig out so far. Mahasea has been doing a lot of work with the energies of Pluto, with, as that energy of Pluto was deconstructing and doing what Pluto does, Mahasea was adding her flavour to it. Then Jupiter crosses over, giving that boost to the Mahasea vibration. Then Mars. So giving that kick in the pants to the things that had already been set up. And now the North Node. This has all been constructing stuff regarding our density. Well, yeah, our density, if you speak New Age hippie stuff, but our destiny. Deconstructing things, reconstructing things, building things, changing structures, removing and rebuilding structures ready for this whole new time. Now, what is Mahasea's vibration? So Mahasea is about healing and rectification, setting things right. He's a seraph. He's part of the Sephirah of Kether, so that the highest Sephiroth, and he answers to Metatron, and he's a fire, represents fire. And planetary angels are Neptune and the Sun. His name means Saviour God, apparently. So this is what everything is slowly being built up. Hopefully that's expressing in all of us and all of our lives, where this Mahasea's energy is creating, building and moving and getting us to a place that is going to be better. That's the hope. I mean, obviously, it's reliant upon our cooperation to this, with this, and our openness to it. But it is really the way his focus has shifted from smashing things to now, okay, destiny, this way, I think is really quite beautiful. Now, what other information have I got about Mahasea here? He re-establishes the order of the divine in your life, makes it possible to live in total peace and joy, and to enjoy the simple things in life, and can help you into schools of learning where you can pursue forms of initiation. Now, that peacemaking energy is going to be very, very useful, because there's also all the divisions are being highlighted to us, but they are being highlighted because of this healing process. Now, what I want to look at is the symbols for 23 degrees Aquarius. So I'm going to start with the Sabian symbol. Which is a man turning his back on passion and teaching from his own experience. So this is talking about someone who has been fighting their good fight, whatever it is, or having their obsession, and then all of a sudden they're suddenly going, I've learned so much from this, I have to pass this knowledge on. So they're transferring from, to be facile, but it would work in today's culture, from being an active social justice warrior to training active social justice warriors, would be one way of looking at it. I mean, you could replace active social justice warrior with carpenter, and oh no, that's still got that vibe, hasn't it? Okay, plumber, and it can, the message still holds true, but there's this sharing of information, this allowing those who don't know to find out and know, which I think, especially after focusing more on setting things right, we're going to need to know how to do lots and lots and lots of things. But what is really interesting is the inside degree, or the Chandra symbol. So we have a large brown bear picking and eating apples. It's like, okay, yeah, what? But the interpretation of this, I'm just going to read it straight out because you'll see why when I get towards the end of it. Gross indulgence and a conscience that just won't quit, saturating your energy field with exaggerated gestures of capitulation to your own lower nature. But you do this in a continual ironic juxtaposition to an observing intelligence and a keen conscience which deplore and have no use for your own shenanigans. So you're literally stuffing your face with chocolate while another bit of your brain is going, why are you eating all of that chocolate? It's not going to do you any good. So being split between the compulsive and addictive personality and the dispassionate and isolely removed consciousness, you're trying to turn yourself around by alternately binging and reforming, a bit like crash dieting. But each binge triggers a reaction of the other side of mind, and each renunciation and reformation in turn triggers a further reaction from the first piece of mind. This dialectic between being bad and being good is all on the pro and con level of the dualistic mind. The only hope in this pattern lies in wearing out both ends, so that a third place can open up in which neither acting out nor becoming exemplary is all that's necessary. You do what you do, and you see it the way that you see it. And all of the self-conscious overlays and each and every self-manipulation in whatever direction dissolve when the space is clear. So I know that I've mentioned on previous videos about how very divided we are in society nowadays. It doesn't matter where in the world that you look, there is divisions rampant, whether you want to say Democrat, Republican, Brexiteer, Remainer, look at Myanmar. But this energy, that symbol, that idea of wearing out both sides while we are learning how to do things better, because those who have a time to teach now are led to actually teach and teach everybody else, you know, whether it is how to get in touch with your angels and how to get in touch with God, or how to sort out a septic tank and sort out your plumbing, or carve a chair, or recycle whatever, or change the way that you're fishing, farming, hunting, what have you. All of these things, the very structure of our economy, as we know with the virus, is under question at the moment. And so there is going to be, and there is already to a certain extent, if you look at the right websites and email newsletters and what have you, a absolute cacophony of good ideas about how to move forward. All of this under the watchful eye of Luvia, who, let me see, what was the phrase again? Who has an expansive intelligence, brings things to fruition, and knows how to dial God. You know, so I would say that in itself is a superpower, you know. So if you if you are a fixed sign, oh, I've forgotten, where's my cheat sheet? Aquarius, let's have a look. I don't want to say it because I don't want to get it wrong. And it's not on my, fixed signs. Here you are, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, or Scorpio. On a basic mundane day-to-day level, you can expect to get affected by this stellium through conjunction, through square, through opposition. But pretty much it's going to affect all of us. This is a global thing. The last time this sort of stellium in Aquarius occurred was in 1962. And we know how pivotal the 60s were for creating a shift in our society, even if things seem to have shifted back since then. So if you are familiar with your chart, if you know your rising sign, and if you don't, there is a link, well, there's two links in the description down below for where to get a free birth chart. Have a look which house Aquarius sits in for you. I use whole sign houses, if that means anything to you. So for me, it's all in the 8th house. Or if you go by my sun sign, it's all in my 12th house. Oh, I'm expecting plenty of revelations coming along. And I must admit, my astrology studies have been just going, well, my degree angel studies, let's put it that way. I keep having moment after moment of, oh, I can do it this. Oh, I didn't think of looking at that. Oh, and what does this mean if I look at this? So there's like revelation after revelation already. And the new moon isn't even here yet. But there's whichever house you Aquarius is for you, that's where you can expect quite a bit of activity. If you've got natal planets in that area, opposite to that area, or basically in the cardinal signs, that will this stellium will have an immense personal effect. And again, that all sounds like random things, but go to the link AstroSeek or Cafe Astrology in the description down below, and get yourself a birth chart, and hopefully you'll make more sense of if what I'm saying sounds a little obscure, because I'll hold my hand up. I'm only just starting to understand the houses in this last 6 months. Before then, I was just like, I don't know what they're talking about. Right, so I've done the saving symbol. I'm just checking my notes. So remember, this reading is a general reading. So general reading rules apply. It should mainly be there as a confirmation for you, or just something for you to mull over. What I would, never make your mind up on what I say. Just take it under advisement and then consider it, and then make your mind up, but don't just do it because I said do it. Even though I have already done a reading for this new moon where I'm telling somebody to just do it. But, it's still your choice, not mine. Now, what I would like you to do beforehand is ask a question. So especially really with this, ask a question that relates to how you interact with your community, or relates to obviously new moon, new beginnings, or entire new directions of life, because it's such a big event. This, unlike last year where it was event after event after event, this year, this is the pretty much biggest one. And other than Saturn square Uranus, but that's going on all year. So, there isn't like a whack bang like there is with this one. So take a moment, think about all of the questions that are around you. Focus on one of them, but be aware of all of them, because the cards will answer whatever they choose, and not necessarily what you or I think are the most priority of questions. So, as ever, please do the good YouTube stuff. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Subscribing to the channel really, really does help. Then again, so does the like button. But more importantly, comment. Let me know once I get to the reading, what you, if the reading is good for you. But also let me know what you think about my view of looking at the degree angels for the astrology, because, well, I'm going to keep doing it because I find it absolutely fascinating. But I want to know, should I just shut up about it and do it in private, or should I continue talking about this stuff as I get to learn more? Because, again, hold my hand up, I'm a total beginner at this. So, I think that's everything. So timestamp will be for now. And let's get on and have a look at your cards. Okay, Taurus. So if you are Taurus rising, then this is the new moon and the stellium is all occurring in your 10th house. Your achievements, your status in the outside world, career and reputation, I suppose, would be a good way to look at it, and standing in the world, which again, if you're Taurus Sun, you can go by solar house and say much the same sort of thing. But then again, with Sun, that might be a lot more about how you are considering your identity. Either way, it's in trouble at the minute, Taurus. Now, I'll minimise the cards because I don't want to scare you with all the various scary cards that are there. From the oracle cards, we'll start with the nice, easy, New Age psychology one of what do you need to release? Because the world's doing plenty of releasing at the minute for you, it looks like, and it's causing you quite a lot of stress, even though you have a knowledge that this is a cycle that it has to, there is always winter before summer. Or rather, I suppose, on this one, winter before spring. And with this Four of Swords here opposing you, it immediately made me think of Puxatawny Phil, the groundhog. Anyway, this year, the groundhog saw his shadow 6 more weeks of winter. And as I record this, there is snow outside. So we haven't had snow hardly at all over the winter. That's opposing you, that sense of not being able to move, not being able to level up, not being able to take your ideas forward. Like you're waiting for your ships to come in, but the God's honest truth is your ships here are not coming in. We've got the Three of Wands, which indicates some forward motion being a 3, but it's very much someone sat at the harbour looking at the ships. And with that being clarified by the moon, I think that something that you have been waiting for to arrive, you can kiss it goodbye. It ain't going to be here, or at least it ain't going to be here on time. And this is causing you no end of stress. We have now for the more awkward cards. The foundation of the situation that you are in, we have the Tower, clarified by the Six of Cups, so everything is tumbling down. Everything. And very much things are tumbling down in relation to various pieces of your past. So quite possibly, it's not so much the longer they've been around, the more likely they are to fall, but the longer they've been around and the less well they've been built, the more likely they are to fall. And there's this urge of recapturing some form of nostalgia, some form of how it used to be. Ain't gonna happen. I'm feeling really positive here, aren't you? I can't tell. Also, we have from the Wisdom of the House of Night deck, we have the card Chaos, literally the whirlwind ready to take you to Oz. Tornado, yeah, whirlwind tornado, same thing. We have Hasmed, the Angel of Annihilation. Nothing will stand in its way. Things will fall away. Things will fall apart. Things will crumble to dust. However, this is a wonderful time for you, Taurus. And I can tell just how much you are aware of what a wonderful time it is for you, with this Nine of Swords and dreams and nightmares, and stress and anxiety and more nightmares being how you're feeling at the moment. There's almost with this Nine of Swords, there's almost a sense of resignation of course it would go wrong. sort of attitude. However, if you can weather this storm, then I do foresee some form of victory for you, but it's going to be a victory in another place. It's not where you are right now. We have what Spirit's bringing in for you to work with, the highest of the situation. We have the Two of Pentacles. You are being instructed in the art of balance. You are being instructed with the art of competing priorities, which is again what the moon would often talk about. But in this moon card, no opposing towers, no tame or wild canines, just one person sat on a moon who's not really that interested, not really that real. You know, that's not the moon. That's something that is lowered down from the top of the stage in a dance number on Broadway or what have you. And the person who sat there is going, "Ooh, look at my flowers. Yeah, I can throw them away from you." So I think there's motion coming. Now, you had to have strength to take the path that you have been taking so far. Someone made you an offer. Someone has asked you to make a choice. Someone may have even have professed a partnership to you, whether that's a business or a romantic, or, you know, working on a project or what have you. You know, it could be a new friend. They have managed to dangle some form of wish fulfillment in front of you, which has made you go, made you take a double take on everything. However, not everything that's around you is true right now with this moon card. But I will bring it back to that question of what do you need to release? Because this Two of Wands, Nine of Cups, someone else offering you a choice that appears to be some form of wish fulfillment, I don't actually feel bad about it. What I feel bad, what I think is nonsense, is you just stood there waiting for your ships to come in. That's nonsense. Whatever you are involved with or involved in at the moment, it is crumbling, it is breaking. That cannot be stopped. You cannot defeat the whirlwind. You cannot stand in the way of Hasmed, Angel of Annihilation. In fact, I might read the thing from it if I can find it, because but this is a wonderful time. On the bottoms of the deck, we have the World for the main deck and the Death card. Change. Yes, there's the death of something, and you can help choose some of the things that can die, some of the things that can be gone. What do you need to release? It's almost like you are being held back right now, because from the Queen of the Moon Oracle, we've got two cards, assessing and then action. So while you are learning the art of balance, or juggling, more to the point, at the moment, it's giving you a chance to work out what you actually want to keep, what you want to get rid of. And this is under, from the Angel Oracle, we have the Archangel Metatron. I am united with the source of all goodness, love and creativity, which is lovely. But Metatron is really good at structure building. To build a structure, you need to smash the structure, or the previous structure, out of the way. Here we are, Hasmed. The Unmaker, a terrible sight to behold. The void eating itself and making itself anew. That which should no longer exist is unmade by Hasmed's hands. There is something that needs to be removed. Look upon that which should not be and loose it from existence. So, I think the cards are being pretty clear that rather than panicking about everything that is falling down around you, there are certain things that need to be falling down around you. There is motion. If you are involved in some form of battle, you will be a winner. But I will say that the spoils of that particular war will be sparse. And there, it's like, great, you've won. That's fantastic. And I believe that you, Five of Swords here and Justice card for how you're feeling. I believe that you feel justified in whatever it is that you are doing. And what if there is something that you are fighting or arguing for? I don't see Spirit here disapproving. I don't see saying, oh, no, you shouldn't be fighting for that. No, if it's something that you believe in, you fight. Just don't expect a fantastic return on your efforts. You're doing this because you believe it is right, not because of what you believe you can get. Because as soon as you win, you're out of there. Whatever that there is, whatever the thing that's crumbling down, you are out of there. Knight of Wands, moving on fast. As the minute that if you are involved in some form of battle here, the minute that you win, you're out of there. But this being out of there is a cause for celebration. So, as I say, Spirit's bringing in the Two of Pentacles, that act of balancing. That is clarified by the Four of Wands, which here is not a marriage card. It's a celebration and a building card. It's a father and her daughter on the inaugural night of a treehouse. So there is something that is being offered towards you for you to build. Again, like I was saying with Metatron, if you are building something, something else needs to be smashed first and got rid of, however that may mean. If this is a career thing, then your employer goes bust and you start your own business doing that sort of thing, but in a different way and slightly better. Thank you. Because if that is the scenario we've got going on, it's not like you're not being headhunted. It's not like there isn't somebody saying to you, come this way. If we do this, you will be raking it in, the World card here. So there's loads of support here. Metatron, the World card. But you have to let that destructive process that is occurring unfold and let it destroy what it will, while you are left there just trying to balance the priorities, salvage what you can, maybe would be a good way to put it. Now it's almost as if your hope is just, let me just please win the lottery or fall in love, Ace of Cups, or have faith in a new idea that's being put forward to me. Let the world turn so I can just go ahead and do this. Well, with this 10 of Wands, 5 of Wands, 10 of Wands right at the end, the world, I rather think, is turning so you can do this, whatever it is. It's just not lottery win and King of Pentacles walking through the door for you. It's hard work. It's a commitment from your side. It's something that you will build. But to build, everything else needs to be destroyed first. Especially, I do think there's been... that is... Right, I think there has been an offer from somebody in the past that helped get you into this situation of what's going on at the moment, whatever it is. Anyway. And I also feel that is why if there is another offer on the table at the moment, you are more than a little suspicious. Now, what I will say is, if that offer also promises lots of hard work and lots of struggle, then that offer's worth it. That is the right one to go down, because you are being asked to transform. At the moment you are assessing, at the moment you are studying the landscape, trying to, make sure the china isn't broken while the house collapses, sort of thing. But there is going to come this month a call to action. And I do think this recent offer is more likely to be on your side, a good idea, something that is benefic, something that benefits you, whether it benefits you in your love life or your career because it's a 10th house thing, or even just in a personal development way. Because if we was to look at this intellectually, everything you believed you now know is wrong. And therefore you've got to rebuild a whole new belief structure, and someone else is offering one out, but you don't rightly trust it because you've been offered a belief structure like that before, and that didn't work out. That ended you up here. That's fine. Here is just a halfway step. So there is challenge coming ahead, but the challenge that is the commitment, and to a point is, it seems like it's a burden that you're taking on because, oh my God, look how far we have to walk carrying these heavy baskets. But also, oh, look what a beautiful day it is. And I'm getting to walk along with my best friend. And there's no hurry. So I think there's more challenge coming up, without a shadow of a doubt. And there's something that you're set on. And if there's something that you're really upset about and you haven't started, and when I say really upset, I mean aggrieved, and you haven't started taking steps to counter it, to set things right, to have justice, then start. And yes, that will only exacerbate all the devastation that's going on and gets it over and done with quicker because it's there. Chaos, Hazmed, the tower, it's there. So in the short term, the more destruction, the better. Because then it's over quicker and it frees you up to move forward to where you can start building. But you are definitely moving forward with this Knight of Wands here to a new place, a new perspective, a new place, a new location, new workplace, new philosophical position even. You're also being asked to goal set. What do you actually want? While you're going around saying, what do you need to release? What do you want to keep? Poseidon here has turned up in this deck. He represents avarice. But I don't necessarily use that deck traditionally. I always say what god or gods are interested and have an interest in the star sign this month. So obviously, who's interested in Taurus this month? I get Dionysus and Poseidon. Now, Dionysus is well known as the god of wine, of mad parties, but also transfiguration of self, transmutation of self. Poseidon, as I saw it, I immediately thought, oh, ocean god, Enki, friend of humanity. I've been watching a lot of ancient alien civilization documentaries recently. But Poseidon does syncretize with Enki of Babylonian myths, who is also, you could turn around and say, Enki is a Prometheus figure who likes mankind. So what I'm getting from Poseidon's presence is here, one, there's loads of emotions to sort through. My God, is there. But you've got You know this. You've got the stress and anxiety and nightmares at the moment. There is change coming in a way that cannot be stopped, like a tidal wave, but there is support for you with Poseidon as well. And Dionysus shows that there's transmutation, that this is designed to change you. And that's a good thing right now. I think that's everything, Taurus. So if it actually means anything to you, comment down below. I mean, like, share, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Now go and watch your moon and rising signs. Cheers.